Lourdes is a vehicle to bring people together, give them an experience of the church, foster the bonds that, between people in the diocese. It's about healing for those who have sickness and worries and anxieties, spiritual healing, physical healing, reconciliation. It's about all those things.
Going to work in the hospital part in Lourdes, and we don't know what it's going to be like yet, but we're hoping it'll be a really good experience for us all.
When you come to Lourdes, you may not know people, but straight away you're accepted by everyone here. You can just be yourself and you're accepted for being yourself.
The doctor did say that he didn't think that I would be able to do the flight. But I told him if I wasn't coming as a sick pilgrim, I'd already booked the hotel and got my tickets, so I was going anyway. Even if I had to climb on the aeroplane on my hands and knees.
When I knew I was coming to Lourdes, then it just could not come quick enough. Even 2 to 3 weeks before, I was saying to my priest, can't we get there sooner, Father?
There's so much love and friendship, and it's a completely different feeling to being at home. And I mean, everybody gets on really well, and everybody helps everybody, and there's a whole atmosphere in Lourdes. I think that's what, for me, is the best thing about coming to Lourdes.
I've been coming to Lourdes with the diocese for 25 years now. I couldn't tell you how many times I've actually been to Lourdes. It's very hard to say why you keep coming back. Just to meet again the friends you've made, to help more and more people to experience what you've experienced, the loving and caring and sharing that happens on all pilgrimages.
I just come along as a helper. I did have a reason for coming. My son was very ill at one time, and I did pray for a miracle for him to get better, and I felt I had my miracle, and this was my way of saying thank you. And I thought I would come 9 times as a sort of novena to say thank you for my son. You do get very involved, you get to know people, you feel part of the team after a while, and it's just lovely to be here. I just love the International Mass. I think because it brings us all, the whole world, it's as if the whole world is gathered together in love and friendship, and seems just how it should be.
One of the most impressive ceremonies in Lourdes is the International Mass for the sick and the able-bodied in the underground, and it was really, really impressive to see us all together, mostly because we sang in Latin, and when we sing in Latin, we become again a universal church. been coming with the diocese since 1953. I think I like the Blessed Sacrament procession. It is very long, but I think that is really very moving and very impressive and very comforting.
Being privileged to be very near to the sick, I think you just don't see it, you experience the feeling of peace around you from the sick and just the general atmosphere. It's very moving.
I've come to Lourdes this year for the first time as director. I've been many times before. This time it's my responsibility to organise the spiritual programme and liaise with the tour operator to make sure everything goes well. For me personally, I think the highlights are always the mixing and the mingling with the folks, the being part of something bigger than myself, part of the diocese. This year I spent a lot more time with some of the very severely sick people, and I think I'm amazed at just how they carry that illness and the hope in their hearts.
I started coming to Lourdes in the early 1960s. Lourdes were very short of nursing staff, trained nursing staff. I volunteered together with my sister, many more nurses from the Catholic Nurses Guild, and we started coming here to help and work with the sick in the hospital and in the baths in Lourdes, and it was a marvellous privilege. I couldn't come for a while because I am now moderately in ill health, so I come to Lourdes now to receive spiritual comfort, and I still enjoy it very much. When I received the anointing of the sick, I just felt that I felt really spiritually cleansed inside and out. It was very helpful. It does help me to cope.
The anointing of the sick for me is the most moving, to actually see that moment and to see what it means to the sick. I think that's probably the highlight of the week. It's reminding me who does the healing. That, I mean, the people that come here, the sick that come here, are coming here for God, and it's a good reminder to me that I'm not actually the person that they're coming here for. That there's a lot more to people's lives, the sick people's lives, than just seeing the doctor.
I've been many years bringing the handicapped children, and then about 3 years ago I was taken ill, and I've got so many things wrong with me now, I just feel as though I needed to come to Lourdes myself. It really has got me a bit emotional, but I found that it's helping me a great deal, because when I look round as a sick pilgrim, I find people much worse off than I am, and it helps me to accept my suffering.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Avec Marie, dans la foi, marchons à la suite de Jésus, notre lumière.
Together with Mary in faith, let us follow Jesus, our light.
Con María en la fe.
Bernadette was chosen as someone who was poor. And you see that today with Leeds, when you have the young people working with the sick. And it reminds you of Bernadette's own words in the hospice when the Bishop of Navarre came and spoke with her. And she said, it pleases me to work with the poor and the sick. And you see the young people coming in their yellow shirts and looking after people all week with tremendous care and tenderness. And I find as a rep that it's tremendously inspiring to come with Leeds because of the quality of care, because of the way you go up to the hospital, and every time I go into the ward, there's an immense feeling of peace there.
This is my second visit to Lourdes. I came in 1994 and I've come again this year. I decided to come again because it was just such a brilliant experience the first time, although this trip has been nothing like the first one. On the way here there was me and two friends who did expect it to be quite the same, and it's a different experience every time. It's different people, different things you do and different people you're working with. Down in Lourdes, which is where we are now, we've been singing all night. That's great fun, that's one of the best part of Lourdes. And then there's the part you meet your sick people, you know, that's seeing a different aspect of life that you might not have encountered before. You learn more about yourself going to Lourdes as well through the spiritual parts. Some people will say it's all going to masses, but it isn't just about that. There's all sorts of things. Like we were going to the grotto last night, just after midnight, and it was really quiet. There was just the river in the background, and it was really a moving experience.
I've been to Lourdes, I think 10 times now. I've been for the last 9 years on the run with the youth. It's an experience that they've never had before, and maybe will never have again. Particularly the grotto vigil, you know, many a time they say that's been the highlight of the pilgrimage. I like to be able to get down to the grotto late at night on my own, you know, and just sort of soak up the atmosphere, the prayer that is there. And then if I soak it up, you know, I take home something of the spirit of Lourdes.
To light a candle and say the prayers to Our Lady and Bernadette, and all the time I'm there it's as though they're stood at the side of me and saying, we're with you, Mick, don't you worry anymore, because you've got our blessing as well as the other blessings that you will be getting. And when I walk away from it, then I feel that it's been the most rewarding part of the day, every day.
And when I come to Lourdes, I feel like being in heaven, especially going into the domain and seeing Our Lady it's wonderful. And when I go to Grotto, I'm out of this world.
The best spiritual feeling I've had was when I'm actually down at the grotto and I seem to be able to think back and think of what it was like when Bernadette was here. And I wish that I had the faith that she had, because I haven't, I know that, because she was a young girl who had no education, but has taught the world a great deal in love and charity. And this is what Lourdes is all about.
I think once people have become involved with this work, it's something you don't want to give up. It takes hold of you somehow. You want to carry on with it.
Today we have been in the Pyrenean Mountains, and I was able to walk quite a distance and see the beautiful scenery that I would not have been able to see had I not come to Lourdes. And I've told everybody that next year I'm that impressed with it, I'll not only come, but I will speak fluent French also. All I can say is, please, please, do yourself a favour. If you're depressed or anything else, then the best thing you could do is to come to Lourdes, and it will definitely pick you up, and it will give you something to look forward to from year to year.
I would say if you have the opportunity to come, make the most of the experience, be as involved as possible.
I don't know how you can describe the spirit of Lourdes, really. It's something that sort of just keeps drawing you back time and time again, almost to recharge your batteries.
I've enjoyed myself, I've been with people and seen them enjoy themselves, and I go back feeling happy and content. It's a spiritual experience, but it's also a social experience. It's also great fun.
You go home, you tell people about it, and they don't understand, they don't know what you're on about at all. It isn't until you come to Lourdes that you experience it for yourself, and it is something that you should experience.
Our pilgrimage is now ended. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
Come and join us.
Come and join us. Keep coming, so keep coming back, because it works.
Join us is great.
Come and join us.
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 Come and join us.